So we are out here in Lowell, Massachusetts. I tried to do this video the other day, and when you know the friggin' goddamn storage is full, I think I finally figured out how to empty my storage, you piece of shit phone. Hopefully I don't have no more problems from here on out. But, we're at a bowling alley, probably a 10-pin bowling alley out here in Lowell, Mass. We're running along Route 113. You can see the bridge that goes over the Merrimack River. This way leads to the island that I believe is a country club now. I thought it was a golf course, but I think it's just a country club. But the island was bought or ripped off by Tingsboro. Jonathan Tings, I believe it is. I did a video of him and his mansion, ruins that now have nothing there but bare land, but it does show a foundation of what his house that was there, and he murdered his wife. And the story is in my videos of collections. But also that land used to belong, like I said, to the Native Americans, and that the chief I took a picture of near a huge rock. I don't think I showed that. But on that rock he sat after he lost his island in the middle of the Merrimack River and used to stare at it or whatnot. My father had told me he had came to this spot probably in the late 70s, mid 70s, maybe early 80s. No, probably, yeah, mid 70s. And he has came to this cemetery I'm going to bring you in a moment. But he told me a little story about the Pawtucket Falls. The Pawtucket Falls is not even a quarter of a mile down the road here. Has a huge plaque you can visit. But at them falls, I guess he read that the Native Americans, the tribes that did not get along back in them days, used to get along just to go fishing for salmon. It was like a rural tradition for them to get along enough to supply all their families, with fish and food, meat. But that was one of the places that they would get along, I guess, and, give respects to one another to get the salmon to eat. Also, that is the falls that where King Philip War, the great chief Metacom, was supposed to retreat to with some people that they kidnapped throughout the war, and they were supposed to go to the Pawtucket Falls. But they ended up at Turner Falls out and going towards the Mohawk Trail. And unfortunately, they should have came to the Pawtucket Falls and avoid the slaughter that occurred at the Turner Falls massacre. But other than that, Lowell has a deep history of Native Americans, and I believe that this cemetery over here, being along the ridge of the Merrimack River, and Indians used to live along this river, the Pawtuckets, hell, even I think the Penacooks and the Nipmucks, like all three of them tribes, and even the Wampanoags probably came out here too, but because this was a big, this is the big mouth part of the river here. But I know damn well that I think they lived along this. And when I drove through the area up in the back here, which there's a road, I was led to a cemetery out back in there. And I believe one of the people that was buried originally in this cemetery I'm at now was moved to the next cemetery, which one day I'm going to get out there too and show you. But the whole lay of this land between the rivers and out here, I think this is actual Native American living. They used to live here. They probably set up camp here. That's what I mean. And stuff like this where the vines are heavy. I'm sure they used to pull and cut these out and build their wigwams with. I'm sure vines was a big, huge part of their wigwams. As what I can see, as you can see, there was a friggin' when I should have took a picture of it or even a video at the house I lived at today. There was a huge vine set up, and you could literally walk in it and stand up in it. And it was like a friggin' wigwam, and it laid across the friggin' fence and went down to the ground. But other than that, yeah, that was insane. And like I said, I wasn't surprised not to find no bee's nest or squirrel's nest or something in there to attack me. And which I'm probably actually thankful that I came back here again, and my video screwed up because everything was covered with snow. But now, as you can see, it's all uncovered from snow. But what had happened with this cemetery, and I think this land is cursed. I believe the first settlers, this was one of the first settlers cemeteries, the oldest one in Lowell. And it was built in like 1770 or something in them range. And I think by 1880, this thing was covered with all these vines. People had tried to numerously come out here numerous times trying to clean up this area, and they couldn't. But I think there was more to the reason why they couldn't clean up this land. And that's exactly why I say I believe this land was cursed. And they probably started coming out here to try and clean it. But literally, maybe the Native American spirits was guarding this. They probably started seeing things. No fear. What? Fieries? What the hell's no fieries? That's strange. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna can't take a picture off this one, damn it. I have to screenshot that, but no fieries. I don't know what that means. As you can see, the land's being built on over here. I've numerously passed this place, not knowing the cemetery was here, but when I take my little trips out here in Lowell, which I usually do, and now I know why I've been pulled so many times, not knowing back then what I know now, because of the strong Native American spirits out here, I believe. And I mean, that land was all bare. There was nothing even there. So I think they've put this up within the past couple years. But the bowling alley was here, and I've always seen that. I mean, I've always wanted to go bowl there too, but love bowling. But like I say, you know, I don't know. Everything now is being built on. And I think back then when everything was being built, the grounds here were being disturbed too, especially throughout time. And by 1880, I believe it says in the article that this cemetery, everybody just stopped coming here and stopped taking care of it. And of course, like I said, a couple bodies were moved and placed in the other cemetery along the street, away from this place. Not too far, but beyond the woods over there. I don't know what this is. I don't know if someone's property, because there is people that live along the ridge over there. But I don't want to go over there. But say so. This is, like I say, I believe cursed. That's why they couldn't clean it out. But by what was it? I think by 2016 or 2015, it said in the article, finally they did get out here. They did finish cleaning up, as you can see. And of course, all you see is barely what is a cemetery. I mean, who knows why they didn't go forth and bury more people then the friggin' grounds over here are very uneven, but, and put more stones or whatnot, but yeah, it is what it happened, and why they couldn't keep up on it is a mystery. But it's cleaned out now. You can pay your respects. But like I say, I would be careful, because I think these lands are cursed. That's why it took so long. But anyways, I just wanted to show this spot. Like I say, I was drawn to this place due to a little traveling I did behind the woods over this way on the road. I can tell you right now, what I've seen so far out that way, a lot of Native American looking paths and stone walls and hills. Everything that you would look for to see where natives used to live. And the pine trees along the road here. And I'm sure a lot of them were here before, but of course they're all cut down. But that way, I ain't going over there, but I'm sure there's a lot. So, but until that next video, be safe, take care, and always believe and pay respects to your Native Americans. Especially when you come walking on lands like this, been overdrawn and overcovered so many years. And the reason is why. But I think the question is told today. Out.